Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another video from GT Sports Mates. So you're joining us here at the Temple of Speed. It is Monza, 5 laps. Let's see how we get on. Already on the way, and as you can see there's 2 cameras. If you're new to the channel, this is what we do. We keep where the action is, and that's exactly what we're going to do as we come down into the first chicane. Now, any race, first corner, there's always going to be pushing and shoving. Can we get round in any sort of decent way? And it actually appears like we have. So what you've just witnessed is something as rare as Halley's Comet. That really is. No one died in the first corner, and it's a tricky corner here at Monza because it's not just a corner, it's a chicane. So there's a very difficult corner to get right, especially in the hustle and bustle of everyone. But everyone doing a really good job, so the race is well and truly on the way. We're behind John here in the Subaru. But like I said, we're going to stay where the action is. I'm a little bit further up there in third place. I myself in the top right corner there. The camera will switch between both as the race goes on. But John just getting onto the gravel, and that is something you really do not want to do here at Monza. You will, well, that's what happens. You'll just end up spinning out, and it will absolutely wreck your race. Now in a 5-lap race at the Temple of Speed, it's devastating when that happens because it's so difficult to catch up. Especially, should I say, in the Subaru, which does lack in the top end department of speed compared to a lot of the cars here. But John, if you know John, if you're not new to the channel, if you've been here before, you'll know we don't write John off. So John's had a spin. Let's see what he can do over the next 4.5 laps. Jumped over to myself though, as you can see now. I'm in 4th. Where did I start? I have no idea. I really should have looked at that, shouldn't I? Yeah. Oh well. So I'm currently in 4th place as we come around Parabolica for the first time onto the home straight, and you can see here now 1st and 2nd and 3rd are just there ahead of me, and I'm nicely in the slipstream of the guy in 3rd place there in the, I want to think, is that an Aston Martin? It looks like from here, I don't know, might be, but I'm well and truly in the slipstream, and you can see now how much I've gained in him all the way down there, going very, very, very deep into the first chicane there. Wasn't good at all. I will hold my hands up. That was absolutely awful. I missed my braking zone and just carried on going. And it's cost me. It has cost me. I'm now dropped down to 5th. But we are now behind another Mustang. I've got myself a rival, it would seem. That's how we like to look at it here. He's in a Mustang. And he's broke very, very, very early indeed there. And I went into the back of him. Now, luckily, I was ready to hit the brakes anyway because I knew I was in the slipstream, but he broke really early there. I don't know what he was thinking, because I know he's in the same car as me. I know where you can brake to take that corner. He was nowhere near it. John in the top corner again, having a moment and going off track. It's all going wrong, unfortunately, for John here on the 2nd lap. I'm not sure what happened there. But going back to what I was saying, I'm in the Mustang. The guy in front of me is in the Mustang. So I know where he can and can't brake, and he seems to be doing a weird job. Now, he actually broke a little bit later than he should have done there, and it threw me off. But I'm going to come up the inside. There wasn't anything in it. I've slowed down, as you can see, and, well, yeah. He just decides that he's going to take me out. Yes, I tapped into the back of him going into the chicane, but you saw me slow down. I didn't drive off. I went past him, but I slowed down on the outside to let him come back through and take the position, and he just wasn't happy about it. So now I've been took out. I'm down in 11th place. John in 12th. This is just a Herculean task now to see if at all, can we catch up. It's going to be a tall order here at Monza. There is a spin though, and oh well, look who it is. And he's quit out. Well, there you go. Justice has been served. He takes me out and then he quits out. I'm not sure why he was facing the wrong way. Did somebody else take him out? I'm not sure. Did he spin it? Who knows? Well, we might go back and have a look, see what happened, but I'm very interested to see what made him crash out. I am interested to find out. But once again, down into the first chicane. John now in 10th, myself in 11th. What we're going to do from this point though is a massive, massive catch up. And well, me and John do race a lot. If there's a time in a race where we will be battling, we will battle. There's also a time to work together, and that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to try and work together all the way around Monza just to see if we can close the gap to the guys up ahead. Because if we don't, then if we just end up fighting between ourselves, we haven't got any hope of catching up. So we're going to do what we can. We're going to try and stick together I'm going to stick in John's slipstream, and then when I get close, I'm going to give him a little bit of nudge, push him along a little bit faster, and hopefully from doing that, we'll be able to catch up to the guys ahead. It'd be helpful if the guys ahead all crashed out, but that's just dreaming, I suppose. But yeah, not much to go here. 2.5 laps left, if that. And yeah, we're at the very, very back of the field. Braking very early there, as you saw myself. Well, you saw how much speed I was carrying towards John there. That was the slipstream. I was in the slipstream, and the top end of the Mustang's faster anyway. But we have caught up. Somebody's had a bit of an issue. He has a penalty. John's going to use his slipstream. He's going to go right past. I'm going to then tuck around the side myself. Now, the Porsche has jumped in the slipstream of John, but I do have momentum, and I'm going to brake. And that looked a bit odd, I'll admit. The reason I was braking in quite a peculiar place, I was well and truly off the racing line, and there was no way I was going to get around Parabolica in any state of fashion if I hadn't have broke like I did. I had to brake. I thought the Porsche was going to come back. He didn't. He's still behind us, and I'm still behind John. And as you can see, give him a little push all the way down the home straight here. Both of us are going to be braking very, very hard, and slightly earlier than usual because there's a bit more speed coming down though whilst we're in the slipstream, and there's a bit more speed with John as I give him a little bit of a tap to push him along. So both of us doing very well there to make sure we got the brakes on earlier than normal, get round that chicane in any sort of decent way without spinning, crashing, whatever. Look at that, 7th right there. I'm going to give John a little bit of a bump once again coming down to the second chicane. We're going to get super, super close into the chicane though. Now, a lot of people don't like it when you get that close in a corner. Luckily, me and John, like I said, we race together all the time. So we're used to how close one of us can get to the other. Doesn't put us off. Well, I say it doesn't put us off. Sometimes it puts us off, but not often. But we're actually happy about doing that. Now, as you can see, John is well and truly in the slipstream of that Beetle. The Beetle, not a good choice, I will admit, for Monza. The top end is just absolutely dire. The Subaru will outpace it, and to be honest with you, in the corners, the Beetle probably is one of the best GR3 cars. There's not that many corners here. There really isn't. There's only a handful of corners, and the ability of the Beetle doesn't really shine all that much. It's a very interesting choice to be made there. It has to be said. But anyway, back to the race. As you can see, I'm in the top right corner now. I've just gone past the Beetle myself, up into 8th place. John coming down in 7th, around Parabolica on the penultimate lap. Can he catch up to anybody else? Now, the gap to the guy in 6th is quite big. That's a large gap. I'm not sure what car he's in. If he's in anything like the McLaren F1, then John really doesn't have any hope unless he crashes out, because that McLaren F1 is absolutely rapid. It will outpace the Mustang, no problem. But I'm not sure what car he's in. So John's going to have to try and make up the time through the chicanes, which is very difficult to do. But if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be John. And you can actually see already, it looks like he's caught up ever so slightly already through the first chicane. And that's what he needs to do, just chip away at the space, between both cars. And hopefully the guy up ahead will have a moment and spin it. And then John can basically claim a free spot. But probably not going to happen on the last lap. Jumping over to myself though as we go around the second chicane. Now I've jumped to myself because you can see me and you can see John ahead. There isn't really anyone ahead of John too close to see any kind of action, so I'm going to stick with myself here as we come around the first Lesmo down to the second Lesmo. Very tricky corner to get around this. If you can cut it, you can, but if you go off track, well, there we go. So what was I saying about other people spinning out? Yeah, it doesn't help if I spin out. He's already ahead of me, John, isn't he? So, but there you go, a lesson in what not to do at the second Lesmo. Don't do that. It will absolutely kill you. I am still in 9th place. The Beetle, I'm not sure where the Beetle is. John having a big moment there though through the third chicane. I don't think he's going to get a penalty for it. I think he's got away with that. But yeah, lessons of what not to do in the Lesmo, and almost a lesson of what not to do through the third chicane there as John comes around Parabolica now for the last time here at Monza. It's been a 5-lap race. It's been a hectic 5 laps. Lots of pushing, lots of shoving, lots of spinning. But, you know, you can't win every race. I'm going to jump back to myself now, and something very strange is going to happen. This doesn't happen to me a lot, but as you're going to see, we don't finish the race. We got timed out. That's not good at all. But I wanted to go back to this moment on lap 2. So I'm behind the Mustang here. And I said he broke very early, didn't I? That's what I said. I want to show you what I meant. Now, like I said, I'm in the Mustang. I know where you can brake. He's in a Mustang. He should know. Now, his brakes are on. Can you see that? The brakes are well and truly on there. I'll show you where you're supposed to brake. Ready? So we're going to go frame by frame. You can just see the nose of my car there now. And you are supposed to put your brakes on here. That's a lot further down the track than he broke. That's a lot further down the track than he broke. Why on earth did he brake so early? I have absolutely no idea. Now, unless it's his first time driving the car, that could explain it. But the fact that he's in fourth and, you know, he's doing a pretty decent job of actually getting around the track, I'm going to assume it's not. Why did he brake so early? I have no idea. Was it a brake test? Possibly. Doesn't make sense though. If anything, he should have seen myself in the Mustang and thought, right, I'm going to use him. I'm going to let him push me along all the way down this straight here. But he didn't do it. He went for a really early brake, and yeah, it was a weird one. That I'm not quite sure what's going on. But coming down to the third one, and as you saw, the brakes were on. I just tap him, and he doesn't go off. Look, he actually still manages it, but then he stops. I come past, I stop, you saw my brakes, and then he just goes for it. He just goes to intentionally take me out, and it's actually cost him more time doing that than if he'd have just drove past me and took the place, and then he tries to take the Porsche out. Some people just cannot hack when one little thing goes wrong. I held my hands up, I slowed down to give the place back. It wasn't good enough for him, he wasn't happy, takes me out, sacrifices his race as well, and then as he comes into parabolic, because someone else hits him in the rear, he will not be happy about that. Well, actually, we know he wasn't happy because he quits out, but I wonder if they did that on purpose. Did they do that on purpose? I have no idea. Well, it's one of them races, unfortunately. We didn't do very well, but it was also a fun one to be in. But that's all we've got time for anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give us a like and a comment. Let us know what you think of the videos, and until next time, see ya.